We are all part of a real estate community, and together we all serve the real estate needs of the consumer.
Welcome to this week's episode of Change in the Market. I'm your host today, Kevin Shamala, and with us is CEO and President Joanne Gogan. How are you today, Joanne?
Doing well. Good morning. Great to see you.
Thank you for joining us. And also joining us today is the Chief Marketing Officer, Cara. Thank you for joining us. How are you today?
I am doing fantastic. Thank you, Kevin.
And we're super excited for this episode for our audience today. As a lot of people know, and if you don't know, there are some quite major changes taking place in real estate and in the market. And we wanted to be able to provide some of that insight for you today and some clarity and transparency to help you better understand some of the changes that are taking place. So with that preface, I'll pass it over to Joanne to give some of that insight.
Well, thank you, Kevin. And yes, the interesting thing is there are a lot of changes in the real estate market today, but then again, there aren't. The way that real estate transactions take place has changed a bit because of some national changes through the National Association of Realtors. We have form changes, we have some process changes, but what hasn't changed, at least for our firm, is transparency leading the process. And so and we serve a large geography, New England. In our marketplace, we have a number of states, different forms, slightly different processes, but the reality is the changes that have been brought to market simply provide opportunity for more transparency. Conversation, if you're a seller, your listing agent is having a conversation with you about their commission, which they have always had. They're also having a conversation with you, asking what you would like to offer a buyer agency. If you're a buyer, your buyer's agent is letting you know that part of these changes means that if we're going to go look for a home together, we are going to sign a buyer agency agreement. And if you're a buyer, you are signing that agreement and acknowledging and agreeing to the terms for commission to be paid to your buyer's agent. So some changes, but again, it brings us back to transparency. And all of our agents at Better Homes and Gardens, the Masiello Group, we've always taken great pride in the way we conduct business. And so for our agents, it's different forms, different process, but the conversations aren't dramatically different. So we are working with agents outside of our company and helping them through some of these changes as well. Independent brokerages, which may not have a training department or a marketing department helping them, we're happy to assist. This is, we are all part of a real estate community, and together we all serve the real estate needs of the consumer. One thing that we have done, which is super exciting for our agents as well as our seller clients, is we've created a platform to help bring even more transparency to buyer agency compensation being offered. And we have Cara here to share that new tool.
Thank you, Joanne. And yes, with all the changes that have taken place through the NAR agreement, buyer compensation is no longer on MLS. So that was an important tool in order to work through a transaction. For our agents, we listened to each of our offices and what the needs would be out there. And it was clear that they needed a resource that was simple to work with buyers and to make sure they had the ability to hop in, check out our listing, and see the offer of compensation. we have created whatsmycomp.com. This is a website that our listings at the Masiello Group will be very transparent and showing what the compensation offers are out there currently in the market.
Well, I think what's exciting about whatsmycomp.com is that it not only assists our sellers in sharing that offer of buyer agency compensation, but it also assists our agents in communicating the seller's offer. And so, the fact that we were able to create this platform to support the process in fairly short order is just another, credit to being the team that we are. And so we're excited about this. It is something that took quite a bit of time and programming because it does not connect in any way to the MLS. It is all driven through our own internal company systems, and it's exciting. And to the extent that it helps the entire broker community, even better.
And I think it's important to note, Joanne, that, we have seen within our footprint, there are a lot of other brokerages and agents depending on our agents for answers and for kind of that direction on how to handle all of these changes. I think that our group is really well equipped. They can walk into the marketplace knowing that they have a full support system, not just through the website, but also through their office leadership and helping them get through a transaction now as easily as possible. I think Chris Masiello, our chairman, had said, a transaction really isn't that different, from August 16th to August 17th. And it isn't. There are just some changes within forms and some transparency pieces that have to have a conversation now.
No, and I couldn't agree more with what both of you said. And this ties into previous conversations we've had with our audience about what it means to work with an agent that's an expert, that's going to help you through the process of home buying or selling. And this is a national change that's happening, and we're excited as Better Homes and Gardens, the Masiello Group, to be showing rather than telling how an agent should function as an expert in the field and how they can properly assist you with the right tools and resources to get through the transaction to reach your end goal. And so definitely look out for whatsmycomp.com. We're extremely excited about it for our agents and our clients, and we're extremely excited for what that means for the industry as a whole, as we try to lead by example in the things that should be done to assist everyone in the housing industry. So with that, I'll pass it one last time to Joanne to close us out for today's Change in the Market.
Well, thank you, Kevin and Cara. And you're right, this is an opportunity for all of us in this industry to do what we know best, which is serve the needs of our clients in the most transparent way possible. And so for us here at Better Homes and Gardens, the Masiello Group, it is business as usual, because that is how we approach our business.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning into today's call and Change of the Market conversation. We look forward to having you share this with your friends, colleagues, clients, whoever that may be. We'd love to have this information out there because, again, it's leading with transparency that helps everyone in this industry. So please share, like, subscribe, and tune in next week for a new episode of Change of the Market. Thank you so much, Joanne and Cara, for joining us today.